Buonasera a tutti e benvenuti a una nuova intervista del Bullone On Air. Sono Silvia, sono un membro dello staff di Believe, del Bullone. In regia questa sera c'è Davide e condurrà l'intervista Andrea Pravadelli. Due parole per chi non ci conoscesse: siamo una fondazione non profit che lavora con i believer, ragazzi che hanno vissuto
Buonasera a tutti e benvenuti a una nuova intervista del
Bullone, anoressia, malattie rare, ma che con forza sono andati oltre, ricostruendo il loro futuro attraverso l'unione, il lavoro e la determinazione. Insieme a volontari e professionisti, il nostro pensiero produce il Bullone, che è un mensile cartaceo e digitale che racconta storie di persone in prima linea con interviste a personaggi impegnati nella ricostruzione. Il Bullone è uno spazio di pensiero aperto e in questo periodo di difficoltà cerchiamo di mettere il nostro lavoro e la nostra esperienza a disposizione di tutti. Questa sera con il Bullone On Air conosceremo più da vicino il prezioso lavoro che Care&Share fa da oltre 30 anni a sostegno dell'infanzia più vulnerabile ed marginalizzata in India, e approfondiremo la situazione coronavirus e soprattutto proveremo ad allargare la prospettiva sul mondo. Per introdurci in questo complesso tema è con noi questa sera Antonio Benci, direttore generale di Care&Share Italia ONG, e tra poco in collegamento dall'Indria avremo Arjun Machiraju, spero di averlo detto nel modo giusto, che è lo sponsorship manager sul campo. Intanto benvenuto Antonio.
Sì, grazie dell'invito. Sempre importante per noi riuscire ad avere una visibilità di quello che facciamo da quasi 30 anni, come dicevi tu, in India, e specificatamente nell'India del Sud, dove abbiamo una serie di programmi in 3 aree ben definite, che sono la città di Hyderabad, dove ci occupiamo dei figli degli intoccabili fuori casta. Lavoriamo in 3 slam per agevolare l'ingresso nel mondo dell'istruzione, possiamo dire, fin dalla più tenera età. Quindi abbiamo costruito dei piccoli asili nido, ma facciamo dei progetti e dei programmi di coinvolgimento delle comunità locali per marcare l'importanza dell'istruzione. Poi abbiamo i progetti nelle zone cosiddette tribali, dove vivono gli adivasi, gli abitanti originari dell'India, e sono delle enclave abbastanza remote nel nord dello stato dell'Andhra Pradesh. Qui abbiamo costruito una scuola che adesso è frequentata da 50 bambini della comunità dei Nucadora, che prima non avevano nulla. E abbiamo anche ristrutturato 6 tra asili e scuole elementari in un distretto tribale lì vicino che si chiama Paderu. Infine Vijayawada, dove è collegato Arjun Machiraju, c'eri quasi, diciamo, come pronuncia,
Ecco.
dove c'è il cuore della nostra attività, che è basata sul programma di sostegno a distanza. Noi abbiamo circa 1500 bambini e bambine, il 60% sono di sesso femminile. Questa è una cosa molto importante per l'India, anche oggi. E è un programma basato da persona a persona, cioè un donatore italiano decide di devolvere una somma che è monitorata, tracciata e ipertrasparentemente impiegata per garantire l'istruzione a un bambino in India. Non è solo l'accesso all'istruzione dai 0 ai 6 anni, che è fondamentale comunque, ma è anche il mantenimento alla scuola primaria e secondaria, e il nostro programma si distingue anche perché, soprattutto perché direi, garantisce l'accesso all'università e l'ingresso nel mondo del lavoro con lo School for Future, che è da un lato un programma che dà delle borse di studio a studenti meritevoli, dall'altro permette appunto l'orientamento alla scelta al momento di scegliere l'università che si vuole appunto frequentare, e agevola l'ingresso nel mondo del lavoro con l'internship, master, PhD, ma anche attività di counseling, job placement, eccetera. Tutto il programma garantisce, a me piace questa parola, garantisce, circa 3.500 bambini e ragazzi, quindi 1.500 dei quali nel programma di sostegno a distanza, e 500 nello School for Future, proprio perché il carattere distintivo per noi è partire dagli 0 anni e arrivare fino ai 22, garantendo e tutelando un'istruzione di qualità che permetta appunto non solo l'apprendimento di nozioni, ma anche una crescita personale. A questo programma in loco pensa Arjun. Arjun segue il programma di sostegno a distanza, ma questa sera parlerà prevalentemente della grande campagna contro il Covid-19 in India, perché naturalmente quando tu sei sul campo a presidio e a garanzia di diritti come l'infanzia, come l'istruzione per l'infanzia, è ovvio che non sei più tu a seguire le emergenze, ma le emergenze seguono te. Quindi nel momento in cui si è determinata l'emergenza Covid-19, in primis le famiglie dei bambini degli slam di Vijayawada, dove noi lavoriamo da anni, ma anche gli uffici governativi preposti, i nostri partner in loco, hanno chiesto il nostro intervento e ovviamente noi gliel'abbiamo dato.
Antonio, grazie mille, un lavoro davvero preziosissimo. E allora direi che proprio di passare la linea ad Andrea, che ci porterà appunto attraverso questi temi con Arjun. Per tutti i nostri ospiti volevo segnalare che questa intervista sarà in inglese e come sempre potete porre le vostre domande attraverso i commenti live. Perciò senza indugi, Andrea, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all. Thank you, Antonio and Silvia. Especially thank you, Arjun, to be here and care and share with us. I know you're working hard this time, but I'm trying to have some questions that are really focused on that period and the job you're doing right now in the current situation. What's your role exactly in the organization and what you're doing right now?
I am a manager of a sponsorship program for Care&Share. Before that, I was I was a teacher in the same organization, and since for the past 4 years, I have been managing our sponsorship program, which involves talking to the children, meeting their families, counseling them, trying to keep them back in the school, because all our children come from a very different and difficult background. So it involves a lot of counseling and also a lot of awareness programs to keep these children going to the schools, because even the families don't realize the power of education. So that is basically my work at Care&Share, to see that these children are sustained until they reach the age of university and turn into a potential individuals for the society.
Do you think that this kind of adoption is still a good thing today in 2020, or there is something better to do?
The distance adoption is so unique, and it is not only better, in my opinion, it is an absolutely whoever came up first with this idea, it's an absolutely a fantabulous way of helping someone who is in need, because it's not that you are not only supporting someone, but you are also in contact. You are also giving them the needed emotional support, and there is a communication, a regular communication. So the relation is much more stronger and deeper than somebody is giving to you something and someone is taking. And it's not that; it's beyond that. So I feel that that this kind of program is an absolutely extraordinary one.
Could you tell us something about your personal story with Care&Share? Especially, how did you know the organization and why did you start working with them?
Well, when I finished my university in computer science, I started working like anyone else in a computer firm. And then I had an opportunity of long back, maybe like 10 years or 11 years back. I had an opportunity to go to a workshop which is meant to understand the importance of computer-based education and literacy of computers in schools. So it was a kind of district level convention where hundreds of schools participated, the teachers and the children. And when I participated in that meeting, I met the children of Care&Share as well. And somehow I got so in touch with them. And then later on, before I could realize, I was there in the schools of Care&Share already, teaching them the computers and also the basic education. And then later on, I think 4 years back, Care&Share suggested to me that I managed the sponsorship program, and nothing changed. Only the classroom is changed. Still we teach. The main part is to counsel, which is also in another terms is teaching and sustaining these children for a better future. So in that way, I think the reason for me to be so closely associated with Care&Share could be because I myself have an experience in my childhood of receiving such support, and I know it is what kind of needs go into to keep these children sustained, because you have children who may not realize the worth, the power of education and being in the school at present. For example, a 6-year child may not know exactly the power of the education, and also the family is ignorant. So ignorant in the sense that they also do not know themselves the power of education. So in this way, you need an intervention, especially. And as I received something, and I reflect these kind of thoughts in these children, and that keeps me very satisfied, and that keeps me going in this job, and that is the reason I associate myself very strongly with Care&Share.
Thank you. I know this is a very personal question, but that really helped us to get down to what Care&Share is doing over there. And I know that India is famous for computer science, but is it in your district very popular? That's why you start working there and why you start teaching children to work in computer science, right?
Yes.
So where is the area you're working in located exactly in India? Can you tell us something about the situation in that part?
We work in Hyderabad, which is a largest city in India and very famous. I'm sure you must be knowing Hyderabad. And also we work.
Sorry.
Hyderabad is famous for its biryani, and we also work in the city of near the city of Visakhapatnam, which is also a port city, which is situated at the Bay of Bengal, that contains a large number of tribal people who have barely any access to education or the modern way of life, or the communication or the transport. They are literally situated in hills and fields and in a very remote situation. And mainly our work is also based in Vijayawada, which is a kind of business capital for Andhra Pradesh state of India. So in Vijayawada, we work in the slums like Auto Nagar. There is a slum called Auto Nagar, and there is a slum called Kandrika. There is a slum called Bombay Colony, Kedareshwarpet, Kankipadu. All these are, since this is a kind of business capital unofficially, so many people here in Vijayawada, they come from very remote villages in search of work, in search of better living, and with their new hope. And unfortunately, many of these families end up in more deeper vicious cycle of poverty. So the families which reach here, or like they suddenly come into this city and they are not skilled workers, and they barely manage to find work. So it is necessary. It's like there is no other way for them. They can't go back, and they don't find here a proper job which satisfies all their needs. So they end up in the slums with very young children in a very small hut nearby the abandoned lands or the dumping yards, the garbage dumping yards, etc. All these families live on a condition that you work today and you have something to eat at home in the afternoon if you work in the morning. That is the situation that the families live here. And I know for sure that they find it difficult even to find a safe drinking water, and electricity can be a very far off thing for them. So these are the kind of situation that our children and our families that we support live in the slums of Vijayawada, Hyderabad, and as well as in Visakhapatnam.
That's tough. I think families are facing a very difficult situation even before COVID, and now I think it's even
absolutely.
But how do you think the situation has changed during this crisis?
Well, as I told you, the families already before the COVID pandemic already were in a situation, in a very dire situation. But when this came up, it was totally unexpected, and I told you that there is even a difficulty for drinking water. So you can imagine that they do not have televisions or sources for news or channels or anything. So you get up one day and then you find yourself that people are calling something is called lockdown, and everything is closed. So I am sure that they were woken up on a particular day into a bigger nightmare. And I remember the day when I came to the office. The previous day it was already announced, and we just came to see, and we can't just stay at home because we have our children and families to meet and see how they do. So we came to the office, and okay, it is a lockdown situation, it is an emergency, everything is closed. So we thought of calling a few families and see how they are doing. And then we called some of our children, and the phone call changed everything. Usually it should be like counseling and taking care of their education. But when we called them, they started saying, okay, what do we do now? Because these families are the families, if they go to work in the morning, they have something to eat in the afternoon. If they work in the afternoon, they have something to eat in the night. And you wake up from one fine day, and then you see that everything is absolutely shut down, and that is the situation they found themselves in, and that is what we observed.
A lot of people don't even know what is going on in the rest of the world.
Not absolutely. They do not have such facilities. Many of the families don't have a television. Many of the families don't know how to read, except their children, thanks to Care&Share. I mean, I am very happy to say that. And I don't think they would have subscribed to newspapers, so they don't even know, even though they know how to read and write, but they do not know what is happening next to them. So it was a nightmare as per our phone call feedbacks for them.
Yeah, information, it's very important for us because we are running a newspaper, and it's sad to know that a big part of the world doesn't know what is going on. One day just came out with a lockdown and they can't know why. But do you think India's situation is different from the situation you're living in your local area, or is the same in all the country?
India is very diverse. Mm-hmm. India has all kinds of people, and we are almost 1.3 billion people. So out of them, I think there are some more than 15 million people who are in a similar situation that I just explained to you. And all our families that we support and the children that we support are absolutely from this kind of background. So it is a diverse nation, and it's different. It's a different whole world for different parts of the country.
Sure. We learned there was a huge exodus from urban areas, but we didn't really know why. So if you can spend a few words to explain us why of this exodus.
Oh yeah, I really wanted to share this. I would like to go back again to the phone call, because I know we avoided and we were successful in keeping thousands of families just where they are. Of course, as many as we can reach out of millions, we were able to reach 2,000 families. The situation is, as I told you, if I don't have work here, I have come from a very far off remote village somewhere in India to this particular city, looking for food, looking for work, looking for some sustainability of my family, of my children, and maybe perhaps hope for a better future for my own children. So that was the situation, and you wake up and you find yourself in a situation where everything is locked and you do not know anybody. And this was the situation, and and believe me, it was very hard even for us to reach to the families with the needed support. For example, the basic grain, the rice, the lentils, because the suppliers were shut down, the transport was shut down, the everything was closed, and everything was just disappeared. So I remember families calling us saying that, see, we have no work, we do not know where to go, and the children, we are here, and we absolutely want to go back to the place where they came from, and it is not possible because the transport is closed. There is no such thing as a public transport, and private vehicles are not allowed, and no one of these families will have even a bicycle. So it is like they are just stuck in one place. So that is when that is when we decided that we will change our course of work, and that is when we started going for the rescue of these families. And believe me, it was so difficult that we have to look around the whole city and search for 4 days to find someone, sell us some rice, sell us some lentils, just to keep these families where they are, so that they are safe. So it took us 4 days to going around. The team, we divided ourselves, and I said, okay, I will go to the east part, you go to the north, you go to the west, it's like that. And then we were searching, and after a long search, we did find a supplier who was willing to supply our requests, but who is to transport the material from their shop to our office. And then again, it was a big dilemma. Where will we find the vehicles? Where will we find the trucks? And that was another day. And meanwhile, you have to remember that the families were foodless. The families were emotionally totally disturbed. The children were looking absolutely with empty stomachs. So, and we got to do it fast. So, of course, at the end of the day, we did find a transport, and we did find the strength in our team, team of volunteers, to sit the whole night and start packing all the material, because you got to divide. The supplier will simply give you, let's say, 2,000 kilos of rice. But who is to pack it to provide it to individual families? So we would ourselves with the volunteers sit in the office and work until 1 or 2 in the night, and maybe just take a small nap for 15 minutes, and then start again at 3 o'clock loading the trucks again with the packets. Because we have this free hours from morning 6 to 9 in India. Morning 6 to 9 are the hours that any family, one member of a family, can go out and get any needed essentials for the family, if you have money. So even us, we have to follow the rule, and we have to reach these families even before 9 and finish the distribution and come back before 9 to office. So you got to start by 3 in the morning and then reach there, and then also follow the social distancing. So we start circling the circles and then call the people, and then I think we were able to reach some 200 families a day before 9 a.m. And then we would quickly rush back to the office and then look for the supplies for the next day, and then start the process all over again, and to be able to go to the next slum the day after. It was, I will not say it was an easy job. It was very difficult, and sometimes we even forgot what day it was, what date it was, what time it is, because of maybe working for more than 15-16 hours a day. But when you really go into the slum, and then when you go with a packet, and the spark that you see in the children's eye when they receive this, because that was, maybe they were hungry for 3 days, we do not know. Maybe they were hungry for more than that, we do not know. So that makes you forget everything, and then gives you the strength to be able to do the same thing again tomorrow for another slum. So that is how it changed the course of our work and approach.
In this, I mean, struggling new routine. Do you have any help from government? Do you think they are handling right the situation?
Oh yes, the government. See, as I told you, we have 130 billion people, and millions of people are just jobless all of a sudden in a day, in just few hours. So it is a large population, and unless the government and the organizations do their best, it is not possible to sustain such situation. And in my personal experience, I have seen the government reach out to few families, but their concern was more on the spread of the COVID. Mm-hmm. But what about the sustenance of very life? That is another question. So as Care&Share, we were more concerned to sustain the life, as well as keeping the spread, containing the virus safely, you know.
Yeah, and I know yesterday on Monday, India started the 4th step of the lockdown. And do you think the situation is doing better or not?
Yes, yesterday we had another extension announced by our Prime Minister up to the end of May. Now, the new worry for us is, how do you contain the community spread? Now, so far we were worried about infection coming from different places when people travel. But now certain essential services, for example, the medical services or the economically important industries is open. Some industries are 50% open, and people now again start moving here and there. But at the same time, the families that we are talking about, the children that we are talking about, they don't belong to that category, unfortunately. So now it is a challenge for us, and we already have started with a program called Orphan Security Program, which is to address now the children who are living with their grandparents. We do have in our program, we have many children who are parentless, who either doesn't have father or mother or both, or who live with old grandmother or grandfather. So now our concern is that how will they sustain this half open, half closed situation. So the solution was to address their needs. See, that the aim of Care and Share during this COVID-19 was simple, that our families and the children that we support are safe. And how do you do that? We do it by provide them enough food to eat, provide them enough safety measurements, so when they have to go out, they wear the mask and they have mask at hand. Obviously they cannot buy, so we have to supply the safety measurements, and also create some awareness, like what is social distancing, what is this COVID, how does it enter your body, all these kind of things. So the program was divided into three steps, like the food and the safety measurement and the awareness program. With these three tools that we entered into these slums, and I am very happy to tell you that we were successful in keeping all of our children, all of our families safe back at home, and they always knew, and I feel so glad to inform you all that they know whom to dial when they really need something. So that kind of a trust that we have created during this thing, and this will continue with the orphan security program for the next days to come.
I'm glad to hear that there is something positive too. I have a question coming from from what you said, but there is any kind of social security? Do you think in India there is something like healthcare system that can provide to them or not?
There is, it always depends. There is a system. Of course, there is a system. There is a system, and many people will go through the system and receive necessary support. But the families and the children that we are talking about are, if you remember in the beginning of this interview, I told you that they come from different places. So if you are situated in the same place where you were born and you work there and you study there and your family lives there, your community lives there, that is a different situation altogether. But when you migrate from a far off place to a new place, and you have no ID card, you have no other means of to prove that you belong to this area. So that's where that individual fails to receive any support from a regular governmental system. And unfortunately, we have more than 10 million people in this kind of situation.
Okay, I have a very last question that is concerned the social situation in India, not only today, but in general. And I want to have a citation that is from Arundhati Roy. Sorry if I'm wrong.
Arundhati Roy, yeah.
Okay. That in her article titled "The Pandemic is a Portal," say that historically pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. The caste social system is still alive in India. Do you think it will ever fall down? That's my question.
That's a big question.
Yeah,
I would like to share with you my recent experience with this kind of system that she was referring. Recently, I told you that we have a slum in Vijayawada called Kankipadu. The slum is it houses nearly 700 families in their small huts. And when we approached, responding to one of the calls from our supported family to go and give them some basic food material, you believe me or not, the whole community just rejected our support, because we were planning to support all the 700 families. And these 700 families had 7 different castes. And the walls are so strong. The walls of this caste is so strong. They are not built with rock, but they are built psychologically. And because we were going, we did not intend to go to this community or that community. Our intention was to reach to all of them. But we cannot at the same time do it. So we were doing in phases. So when we reached to the community A, the community A was absolutely not happy because we were also planning to do it for B and C and D and E. So they were like, then you have to educate them. You have to create some awareness. You have to, that is a kind of situation that I've come across very recently, around 2-3 days back. So in my opinion, the caste system, unless you give your children, the next generation, a proper education and sustain them in the school, regardless the ignorance of the parents, of the other community members, I think the caste system is going to be here for some more time, unfortunately. And there is also a lot of blind beliefs. I don't know if you know what is a blind belief. It's something like superstition. You believe in superstitions and decide and judge among other community, which is absolutely not acceptable. And as a result, the community that practices this is itself in its clutches. Mm-hmm. So that's the irony of it. So of course, we've been working for the past, at least, for the past 15-20 years to address this. And I could say that the children, those who finished with us, are better. They act like more universal citizens. But we do have more places now. We have more communities still to go deeper into this kind of situations and create awareness and help them come out of it. But I think it's going to stay for some, I don't know, for some more time.
Thank you very much. That was huge, and I wasn't really honest, I have to say, because in fact I have a very, very last question, but as a believer I have to say that I have to pose this question. What do you want to see in the future?
What do I want to see in the future, in a sense?
What do you want to see as a future world? What's your idea for India? What's your idea of the change you want to see?
Well, the future for me, in my personal opinion, is see, you got to give education to the children, to the young generation. Only education can create enough ground, enough awareness, enough knowledge of what is happening and what is what. And when you know in your view that, okay, this is this and this is that, that is when you are empowered enough to make your own decisions and be open to the world. So education is a tool, and unfortunately India has to really work towards that. I hear also sitting right here in India that India achieved this and India achieved that. And as you said, India has so many computer science engineers, and that's the top of the iceberg that you were referring to. But below here, you have the caste system alive, you have the superstitions alive, you have people who don't believe in the education system, you have still people working on a hourly basis. For example, how can you really imagine that if I don't go to work this morning and I have nothing absolutely to give to my children to eat in the afternoon? So this situation is a fact. So that's the deeper rise of India. So as I told you, India is really diverse, and the tool could be education to break it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I've pose you every question that I have. And we have about 20 minutes, so we can try to respond from some question from YouTube. The first one is for Antonio, if you mind. I tried to translate it from Italian. So what's the vision that drive you in your job with Care&Share, obviously?
Sì, ho visto la visione del nostro lavoro, la visione, diciamo, della trasformazione. Beh, direi che Arjun è stato abbastanza chiaro, nel senso che noi non siamo lì per imporre uno stile di vita, un modo di vedere le cose, siamo un elemento di supporto per garantire l'istruzione al livello migliore possibile. Non è solo un aiuto esterno, un supporto in termini di economici, non è solo questo. È anche la nostra visione di riuscire a far crescere questi bambini, questi ragazzi fino al compimento degli studi universitari, per permettergli di avere loro in mano gli strumenti e le chiavi per vivere nella loro contemporaneità. E in questo colgo l'occasione per rispondere a un'altra domanda che Arjun ha tratteggiato. L'esempio della campagna del Covid è stato importantissimo, perché all'interno dei 20 volontari che hanno distribuito non solo mascherine, guanti e saponi, ma soprattutto il cibo che serviva necessariamente alle famiglie dei nostri slam, c'erano dei ragazzi del programma di sostegno a distanza. Alcuni vivono in una struttura che noi abbiamo aperto 4 anni fa, che si chiama Mango's Home, in cui ci sono bambini e ragazzi dai 12 ai 18 anni, completamente orfani, che non hanno nessuno, ma che hanno la voglia e l'intenzione di arrivare fino all'università. Alcuni di questi poi hanno, e qui venga un'altra domanda che è all'interno della chat di YouTube, ci hanno anche dato un sostegno, perché quest'anno, ed è una cosa che non smetto di sottolineare, non è stata solo l'Italia con dei contributi dei nostri donatori, che sono sempre molto generosi, perché in un momento molto difficile per la nostra comunità nazionale hanno comunque pensato a questi altri, che poi altri non sono, cioè i bambini, le famiglie degli Islam, coloro i quali erano stati assediati dal Covid-19 in India. Ma abbiamo avuto anche delle donazioni all'interno dell'India stessa. Alcuni nostri ex studenti, perché tieni presente che noi in questi quasi 30 anni abbiamo avviato a scuola circa 20.000 bambini e ragazzi, hanno sfruttato appieno, hanno diciamo tradotto quel bellissimo concetto che non è solo occidentale, che è la restituzione, cioè il sentire che qualcosa della vita, il destino, gli incontri anche casuali che hai fatto ti hanno dato, tu lo restituisci in qualche forma. Quindi il volontariato in loco, partendo all'1 di notte, arrivando negli slam alle 6 di mattina, comunque nel pieno dell'estate indiana, quindi almeno a 35-40 gradi, perché i monsoni devono ancora arrivare. Questa attività in loco, ma anche il supporto esterno di chi adesso un lavoro l'ha trovato grazie a un genitore adottivo italiano che lo ha seguito per anni, è la vera essenza del nostro lavoro lì, perché è la dimostrazione che il concetto di alterità, l'avere qualcuno che pensa a te pur essendo lontano da te, ma vicino, ma prossimo, nel senso che condivide con te il voler garantire un diritto come l'istruzione, è qualcosa che si fa strada ed è una speranza che abbiamo per riuscire anche nello slam molto complicato di Kankipadu che Arjun tratteggiava prima, riuscire a far comprendere, non dare la nostra visione, ma riuscire a far quantomeno far venire dei dubbi, perché la cultura si basa sul dubbio, far venire dei dubbi a queste persone che fanno parte di una comunità di 700 famiglie e non di una casta di 100 all'interno delle 700. È una sfida non solo intellettuale, ma molto complessa, che noi cerchiamo di affrontare partendo appunto dalla garanzia dell'istruzione di base, arrivando al miglioramento del percorso scolastico durante la tua infanzia e adolescenza, per giungere appunto all'università e all'ingresso nel mondo del lavoro, che dovrebbe rendere le persone, non tanto dal punto di vista economico, ma anche dal punto di vista della propria soggettività, più libere e in grado di affrontare le sfide della quotidianità. Quello che capita a noi capita anche in India, capita dappertutto.
Grazie. Grazie del tuo intervento, Antonio. Arjun, I have a question from YouTube. I think you can see it. Is there a Care&Share community of alumni that comes back to help the kids once they have exited the program?
The alumni, it is not yet registered, but there are many children who come back to us asking to volunteer and go back to the families of the present situations. So many children, yes, many children come to us who have already passed the university, who have now settled down to a much better life through the support of Care&Share from so many years. They come back and they offer us their services, for example, to help support the children, communicate with their sponsors or supporters like that. Yes, we do have.
Thank you. I think that is all we have to say. I don't know, Silvia, if you have any question or something to say.
No, I think we can come to an end, and there is something that Arjun and Antonio want to share. Well, from my side, I really want to thank you guys. I mean, really thank you very much, because it has been a pleasure for us to host you here tonight. And I think we end this interview with a greater sense of what organizations like yours do in area of the world that are far from us, but where really poverty and social exclusion magnify events and harsh situations like the COVID one. So all our respect to you guys. And if I can humbly quote one thing that Mother Teresa once said, is that she said, what we do is only a drop in the ocean, but we don't do it, the ocean would have one drop less. And well, let me say that you have poured so many drops in the oceans in these past years, and I'm sure there will be many more to come that you will keep pouring. And, you know, as you said, education and we're really gonna make the difference. I'm really convinced about that. So thank you so much for staying with us tonight.
Grazie a voi, grazie dell'invito e grazie anche di quello che voi fate, perché è estremamente importante e gratificante anche, credo, per voi, perché alla fine tutti noi abbiamo un po' così il sentire che è più bello essere utile che sentirsi ricchi, insomma, quindi tutti noi condividiamo un po' questa idea della vita e speriamo di allargare il bacino d'utenza di chi la pensa in questo modo, senza fare del moralismo, ma insomma prendendo anche in mano la responsabilità di, come abbiamo noi, di tante persone a cui diamo un supporto esterno, mantenendo comunque il cercare di dare a loro la realizzazione delle loro aspirazioni, che è quello che tutti noi dovremmo avere diritto di avere.
Davvero, grazie, parole bellissime. Grazie Antonio e grazie ancora Arjun. Grazie davvero per aver condiviso tutto questo, averci aperto gli occhi su questa realtà e averci portato anche a riflettere con le vostre parole e con il vostro esempio. Grazie ad Andrea che ha portato avanti questa intervista e a Davide che ci ha accompagnato in regia e a tutti voi che ci avete seguito. continuate a seguirci sui nostri social, Facebook.
Piccola cosa, hai un minuto.
Sì, dici, vai.
Volevo ringraziare tutti quanti, soprattutto il Bullone, per avermi fatto guidare questa intervista, che come sapete è qualcosa di molto importante, perché ho fatto un'esperienza simile in Kenya e questo probabilmente è il momento in cui veramente ho cambiato la visione su molte cose. Thank you Arjun for sharing with me and with us. So, grazie a tutti.
Grazie Andrea, grazie per la tua condivisione.
And I would like to thank you all, and also I would like to remember our dear children, who now not anymore children, but young people who were in who had support from Care&Share, who made this possible to without any other people coming from outside. It was them who came back when we were going to reach the slums, volunteering with us, working day and night. So when you asked me about the alumni, I remember now, and I also want to thank our children like Siva Kumar and Rama Rao, who live in Mango's home, but during this emergency time, they really were like they were so much involved. So I would like to thank them, because it is them who also made it possible to reach to so many families. So I thank all our volunteers, especially our boys from Mango's home. And
ok, thank you Arjun. Chiudiamo allora, e dicevo di continuare a seguirci sui nostri canali social, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn e naturalmente la pagina del Bullone Fondazione, e iscrivetevi al nostro canale YouTube per non perdere le prossime interviste. Vi anticipo che giovedì 28 avremo una intervista speciale con la giornalista Milena Gabanelli, quindi un'altra intervista imperdibile proprio qui al Bullone On Air. E se volete continuare a sostenere la nostra fondazione e abbonarvi al Bullone, potete andare sul sito ilbullone.org, dove troverete anche una nuova campagna, Adotta un giornalista in corsia, e potrete sostenerci anche con il vostro 5 per 1000. Sul sito troverete comunque tutte le istruzioni. Non dimenticatevi di leggere l'ultimo numero del Bullone, un numero estremamente ricco e interessante, e a questo punto un abbraccio a tutti dai Liver e buona serata.